picked up all that cash, he put it in his account got sealed.
Oh, really?
The government of India is like, where the hell did you get all this money? So hey guys, I'm back here with another podcast. This is our fourth episode, and we're basically discussing all the possible ways to immigrate to Canada. And I also make videos on lifestyle in Canada and about motorcycles. So if you're watching this, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. And today I have Stanley with me from Titan Law. We already have done a video with them about basic ways how to move to Canada, but there is a secret route which a lot of people don't know about, which is a business immigration route where you can sponsor yourself and your family to come to Canada and basically start a business in Canada, and which allows you to become a permanent resident in Canada.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stanley Chu. I'm a lawyer at Titan Law. I do immigration law, corporate and commercial law, and franchising.
So the first question I have for you, Stanley, is what programs are available for business immigration to Canada?
So there's a lot of programs. There's federal programs and there are provincial programs. And there are other programs that basically feed into skilled worker programs. So on the federal level, there's the startup visa, provincial nominee programs in all the provinces and the territories, and they have entrepreneurial streams as well. On the skilled worker side, you have LMIAs that you can apply for as a business owner. Those requirements have changed recently, so it's a little bit more stringent. But those programs basically feed into express entry, provincial nominee skilled worker programs, things of that nature.
Okay, just to clear something out, like you said, you can get an LMIA for a business route, like business visa. So you can basically start up your own company here and sponsor yourself through LMIA and then work in your own company kind of thing?
Right. And so that program has changed a little bit. Basically, in the past, you were exempt from advertising requirements. You're not exempt. So what that means is your company has to be running. It has to have some operation, maybe some staff, in order for Service Canada to.
Say I have some money and I open a company. So do I open it through a law firm or like an accountant, and then they run a company for a little bit and then I join in the middle, or how does that work?
So you would want to incorporate your company with a law firm. Mm-hmm. You could obviously register it yourself as well. Opening a company basically entails setting out share structures, appointing directors, officers like CEOs and CFOs and things, passing resolutions for fiscal year ends, annual general meetings, things like that. So lawyers can help you set up this documentation. Once you have that, your company can start employing people, start operating, and then eventually you can employ yourself.
Say I already started that process. Can I do it like sitting in any part of the world? So when a person starts the whole process, when do they get to come to Canada and start, the process of immigrating and start, basically filing the LMIA? Does that happen overseas or it happens within Canada?
It would happen within Canada. Okay. So your immigration part happens after you register your company in Canada, either federally or provincially.
Okay. So another question, the most important question, that how much money would you need, like, minimum requirement in Canadian dollars, the magic number, like that you would say is the minimum requirement?
I think it's hard for me to give you a magic number. Mm-hmm. Generally, the more the merrier. But it's program specific. So let's say, for example, the startup visa, the lowest requirement would be $75,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
On the provincial nominee side, the minimums are usually around $200,000, but it's points based. So $200,000 might not get you very far. So it's dependent on your business plan. If your business plan is really good, then you could get enough points with less investment. If your business plan is not so well thought out, then you might put in more money.
So do you guys help with like streamlining that process of like what could work better in BC, or like say, because you specialize in BC area, right? So
Right.
would you give advice? What businesses would work better for you, or is it just like people come to you with a specific plan of action and then you guys just execute it?
We can give you some insight into which sorts of businesses are being sought after,
Mhm.
and we can also help you with the business plan. So that's things like market research, analysis, basically projections for your financials. At least we can give you a little bit of a baseline and basically things of that nature.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that is one of the biggest thing because they have businesses back in India and they
Hmm.
are planning to move, but they can't find a person or like a law firm who can do that for them. Or like when they find it's not like fully, the companies don't have it like fully figured out, like how to bring those people here or like how to really go about the process. Like they know a little bit about it, but it's either like people don't have faith in certain law firms or like it's just, that happens a lot. So people back out or like they back out halfway kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the issue with that is that it's a complicated process. So we're quite good at what we do, but there are certain parts where we rely on other people. So we work with accountants and CFAs, equity fund managers, things like this to get
Okay.
a project up and running.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So also the money that say you are investing in Canada, how do you like, do you need a documentation of where the funds are coming from or what documentation would you?
It's got to be legit money.
So,
So some departments will ask you for your tax return, a calculation of your net worth, where this money came from. The requirements can be stringent, but as long as it's legitimate, that's fine. Here too, right?
there's some businesses back in India, they don't run like, how businesses run in Canada. Like it's
Sure.
all like, it's all trackable. Like some businesses just like my friend, like for example, my friend was planning to buy a house here
Mhm.
and his dad basically got him like 100K just like in a day. So what in India is getting strict also like about all these things, right? So what he did, he had like a bunch of credit in the market and he basically picked up all that cash, he put it in his account, got sealed.
Oh, really?
The
Wow.
government of India is like, where the hell did you get all this money from? He's
Yeah.
like, I basically gave out money and there's no record of it. It's just like 10,000 here, 20K here. So
Mm.
so things like that might happen. So is there a way you can streamline that or like, what would you advise for somebody who is actually planning to do this to make it like super legit?
You definitely want to report all of that for taxation purposes. I know
Okay.
that's unpleasant. Nobody likes to pay taxes.
Mhm.
That's also across the
Yeah.
world, but it's necessary.
Mhm.
Other things that you could do is, if it's coming from investment or if it's interest or something of that nature, try to get some sort of documentation, like a transaction record, or if it's a private thing, maybe an agreement of some sort.
Mhm.
Anything that can be documented.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, because there's so many undocumented loans, right? So people just
Mm.
pick them up like randomly. One thing I want to ask you is like, is there any occupation that you can think of, like maybe top two or top five occupations that are really in demand and usually people get them like easily?
I would say they're IT, um, agriculture based, like farmers and farm operators,
Yeah.
trades, so people in construction, cabinet makers.
I think IT, you had me at IT because India is like IT hub, like of the world. And I know so many people who have companies over back in India, they can probably come here.
A lot of
So
skills shortage in Canada. So
yeah, exactly. So if you have a business in your country, like, and if you want to say expand it in Canada and incorporate that in Canada and eventually bring your family through that, route, will
mhm.
that, is it feasible? Does that happen a lot?
It is. So, and it does happen quite a lot, more than people know, actually. And, so Canada is a signatory to the World Trade Organization, and I believe India is as well. So there are international trade treaties. So if you have a company in India, for example, one of the things you could do is to incorporate a subsidiary in
Mhm.
Canada, if
Mhm.
or might already have one. And because the businesses are linked, and some parts of the business might depend on certain skills in management. So you can transfer this personnel, management personnel, executive personnel, specialized knowledge personnel between the two companies.
Okay. And then they give you points, and then you can apply for a business.
Yeah, so they'll give you a work permit first.
Okay.
So then you can come and work in Canada. You can bring your entire family. If you have young children, schooling, and then you can kind of figure out your options at that point, whether you're going through your position, right? So
nice.
Whether you do a work stream or something else.
Okay. And say how old, like, is there a requirement what kind of business it has to be? Like, it has to be a few years old, or like it could be a brand new business. Like, is there any requirements like that for that?
For existing businesses, generally it's 1 year, at least 1 year of operation.
Okay, at least 1 year of operation. And is there any say, like, what do you say, revenue that you need, minimum revenue required for that?
No, there's not, but obviously you want to be able to show that it's doing good business.
Okay, perfect. So the last question I want to ask Stanley is, like, what are the requirements to start a business in Canada and immigrate through that route, to Canada? I think it's one of the best options, especially when you cannot accumulate enough points for your express entry or your PNP.
Yeah, so Canada is one of the few jurisdictions in the world where you don't have to be a resident here to open a business. Mm-hmm. So in terms of what you need to open a business, essentially you need to hire somebody else. You need to provide us with your ID so we can identify you, mm-hmm. and then you can go through the process of setting up a company. How many classes of shares you'll need, who are the directors, where it's going to be based, what it's going to be doing. And then, we can also walk you through that business planning stage.
Okay.
Business plan, talking to venture capitalists, angel investors, business incubators, equity funds, things like this. And then we can, tailor that to the immigration program that you're looking at, whether it's a work permit or, something more than that, and inclusive of your family as well.
That's great, actually. And I heard, like you said, angel investors. Like, so do you guys have like a network of people that you can connect other people with?
Yeah. Well, first of all, there's actually a list for immigration purposes that's accepted by IRCC. Mm-hmm. And we do have our own networks as well.
Thank you so much for watching this podcast, and I hope you got some good info out of it. And we will put all the links for the provincial requirements. Title law usually operates in BC, but there are other provinces also that you can look into, and they might have maybe a cheaper option for this. So BC is probably one of the highest, like the most loved provinces out of all Canada. So a lot of people want to move there. So there might be a little bit of competition, but there are so many other provinces that are equally as great, and you can move there, and with the help of title law. So I'll put all the links below, so you can check the description for all the information that we discussed today. And thank you for watching Mostly Moto Vlogs podcast, and bye-bye. That's it. Peace. That's exactly you're done. Done for the day, bro. Thank you.
Thank you for making that painless.
yeah, man. It was great, actually. It was perfect. Even I was very nervous before I signed up for this, but I think you came along and I was like, this guy almost looks like the lighter version of me.
That's a tattoo.